I pulled up in the yard, family house. The door was cracked, it was open. I walk in, the bed is sitting right there, right in front of the door. It's a small apartment. Smack it, they getting it. Next thing I know, he hear the door open. He turn around and look and see me. All I did was look and shook my head and walked out.
You walked in and she was in bed with your uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
She's been wanting it a lot. A couple of times she's complained to me that he has not been wanting it.
Why would you put me on child support if I'm supporting my child already?
I've been doing it since day one, Tony, so don't try that.
My grandmother.
Not for the past 3 years.
I learned from
you have been coming around lately because
why? Because she keeps moving and people get tired of reaching out. Here.
Things go crazy real fast. Dude calls her a cheater and says she tricked him with a baby. He says she ran from a DNA test for 3 years. She says she just wants him back and to prove he's the daddy.
Mr. Carr, you state that Miss Villa is a notorious cheater who tried to pin her daughter Trinity on you. You claim there is no way you are the father and had to open today's case because she's been running from you and a DNA test for 3 years.
He drops the nickname Heartbreaker like it's her superhero name, but for breakups. Says she's a big-time liar and cheater. He still wanted to fix her. Yeah, good luck with that.
Her nickname is Heartbreaker.
What does that
From the
have to
beginning
do with
of the
Trinity?
relationships that we had together, she was a liar, a cheater, no good for nothing, just to be honest.
But you still stayed with me.
That's what I was just
Actually-
about to say.
Actually, Your
Yes,
Honor,
you did. You
she
continued to
stayed
have
with
sex
me.
with me and everything else, and you allowed me back.
They met on Facebook and boom, baby time. One night stand turned full-blown relationship. He says she wouldn't leave him alone after that.
He hit me up on Facebook, and it went from a one night stand to us having a kid.
Wow. And it turned into a relationship
Yes,
from
ma'am.
just meeting on Facebook.
Yes, Your Honor.
What you were just
No,
like,
no, Your Honor.
we want to do this?
The problem was I couldn't get rid of her, Your Honor.
She says she cheated but told him after. Like that makes it better. He says it wasn't one guy, it was 8. This turned into a math test real quick.
Was it always the same person?
Basically, yeah.
No, Your Honor. She
Yes, it
cheated
was.
8 different times with 8 different people.
8 different times with
Yes,
8
ma'am.
different people.
You're a liar. Tony.
Wait a minute.
There was times I did cheat on him, and there was times we were broken up.
You're
in this room.
sitting
Just
here
like
admitting
he
that
kicked
you're
me out
cheating now.
to
So
sleep with another
with that
girl in a
being
place we
said,
share together. So you need to get story straight and tell your
my whole
part
point
too.
is,
He's doing calendar math like a detective. She says baby was made on Valentine's Day. He says, nah, you were already pregnant.
the times of conception was she slept with a man on the 31st of January.
Tony,
Me and
she
her
was-
slept together on February the 14th. 3 days later, the 17th, she tells me that she's pregnant. I'm like, how are you pregnant?
Tony, you're a liar.
How in the world do you know that you're pregnant?
She says they made the baby in the back of a car while his friend drove. Like, what? He's not buying it.
Had sex with Mr. Carr where?
In one of his friend's car when he picked us up. He picked us up and we did it right there with him driving.
That was on the 14th. That was
Tony,
on the
I didn't
14th.
tell you I was pregnant until a couple of weeks later.
And that's the day you think Trinity was conceived?
Yep.
With Mr. Carr.
Yep.
He's crying because he's been there for the kid, even without knowing if she's his. He's super sad, but also super loving. Says he did it all, even while hurting.
Do you have a relationship with her?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm with her every day of the week, just about. I play my role as a father. No matter what it is, no
adorable.
matter how much pain, I still treat her like she's my own child.
And that hurts you. I can see how emotional that makes.
Because I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to go through what I went through.
But you kept taking me back.
He says the baby is his queen, and her smile makes everything okay. He's still unsure, but full of love. Says it's both sweet and super painful.
Your Honor, because to me, she is my queen. I look at her and she looks back at me and she smiles back at me. That said, I'm doing something right. At least she's happy. Even if my happiness never comes, at least she's happy. And that's all that matters.
You look at her and you see her smile. If we're being very honest, you also look and say, I wonder if she's mine.
He pulls out a map like she's on a road trip from the truth. Lists a whole bunch of cities she moved to. She says it was for him, not to run.
I was in Alabama. She was in Tampa, Florida. I tried to hook the cases together. As soon as she received the letter, she moves from Tampa, Florida to Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
You were told I was moving.
From Muscle Shoals, Alabama, she moves to Decatur, Alabama. That's when we stayed together for the little bit that we did. From Decatur, Alabama, she moves from Decatur to Chicago, Illinois.
Her bestie shows up and drops a truth bomb. Yeah, she had a one-night stand too. Villa says it was revenge. Also, no protection.
She's been wanting it a lot. A couple of times she's complained to me that he has not been wanting it.
My child support. Why would you put me on child support if I'm supporting my child already?
I've
If
been
you
doing
don't
it
want me
since day
part
one,
of
Tony, so
Trinity's
don't
life
try
and
that.
just my grandmother.
Not
to
for the
feed
past 3
what
years.
I learned from a
You
family
have been
member.
coming around
Let's
lately
get to
because
order.
Why? Because she keeps moving and people get tired of reaching out. Here.
And bam,
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Carr, you are the father.
this show starts like a messy love story gone wild. Webb thinks he's the dad, but the woman says it's her husband. Oh yeah, and she left him while he was in a coma.
Mr. Webb, you have been waiting 2 years for this day. You claim the defendant, Mrs. Forrest, left you for dead only to find out once you got out of a coma that she was pregnant and that the baby could be yours or her husband.
Amanda left her husband to date Webb while her man was in trouble. No protection, no thinking, just drama. This triangle is more like a square now.
My husband got in some trouble and I ended up meeting Mr. Webb through one of my friends. We hit it off and then I ended up leaving Mr. Forrest for Mr. Webb.
And were you using protection at the time?
No, Your Honor.
Webb was on life support when Amanda found out she was pregnant. She said it might be his, or not. What kind of phone call is that?
I was on life support. As soon as I got out the hospital, I had got a phone call saying that she was pregnant. I heard it from my aunt first, but on my way to Illinois with my dad, she had called me and told me that it was a possibility that Elena was my child.
She told you a possibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Webb starts turning into a detective. He says her money and time were missing, so something's fishy. Amanda says nope, it was just the two guys.
Because she was working at the time and some of her check would be coming up missing every time she would get paid. She would get off at 10 o'clock. It would take at least 15 minutes to get home, but she would come in at 11 to 11:30.
It took about 45 minutes to get from where I was
So
working.
it was missing time and missing money.
Yes, Your
Where
Honor.
she was MIA.
Judge asks straight up, was there anyone else? Amanda says no, but Webb calls that a big fat lie. This is getting louder by the second.
Were you sleeping with anyone else besides Mr. Webb and your husband?
No, Your Honor. Which I didn't get back to Miss Forrest until after Travis had done left, or Mr. Webb has done left.
Your Honor, I have a letter from my mom where I was on life support when she came to drop my stuff.
Which we were already
she had
broken
moved
up by
into
then.
a motel.
Webb brings a letter from his mom like it's court homework. Says Amanda moved into a motel with her husband while Webb was almost dying. Amanda says they were broken up.
That is a statement from my mom, and he was there the very next morning in a motel with her.
Is that true?
We were already broke up. We've done caught it.
Well, after they done broke up, like 3 days before he ever went to the hospital.
No, Your Honor.
He's in the bed on life support, and now you have reconciled with your husband.
Yes, Your Honor, but I tried to see him. His mother would not let me see him.
Amanda says baby was made the week she was only with her husband. Webb says, hold up, we did it the day before I went to the hospital. So, the math ain't mathing.
My daughter was born on May 9th of 2013. And then you take it back 9 months later, that takes it to the week of August 26th through August 31st.
You were sleeping with your...
Just my husband.
The thing about it, Your Honor, is the day that before I went on to life support, we did have sex.
The baby making dates are way too close. Amanda says the baby looks like her husband. Judge Lake is like, girl, looks don't prove nothing.
Now you here to tell me you know for sure that your child is fathered by Mr. Forrest and you've got this close proximity?
She looks just like my husband. She takes after him.
But you do realize this difference in time, this is all a part of the same window of conception. You do understand that, right, Ms. Forrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
He wasn't there for the birth. Why wasn't he there for her?
Webb tried to visit, even spent his last $80 on gas. Amanda ghosted him, changed her number, and vanished. That's a real parent trap.
I have not met Elena. We have set up dates plenty of time. Illinois, whenever she told me that I could meet Elena, I spent the last $80 I had to put in gas.
So-
she had backed out, changed her phone number, and blocked me on Facebook. 3 weeks later,
And that's
tried to
changed.
contact her to meet Elena, and she would not contact me back.
Amanda says she's scared Webb will take the kid. Webb says they could have met in public, but she still said no. Judge is like, what are y'all doing?
I'm afraid that if he does get to see my daughter, that he can run off with her, and
Because he's
there's
done
nothing
threatened
I
her.
can do to get
So
her
you
back.
admit,
Yes, Your Honor.
after you initially informed his family that where she's gonna be born.
He wasn't there. I had a difficulty of labor. I had a seizure. And
Amanda still says Webb can't see the kid until DNA says so. Even her husband's like, huh? Judge Lake is ready for the truth.
And until the DNA comes back showing that he is the father, he will not see her. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
So is this Miss Forrest's idea or yours?
This is mine.
That's what I thought. So I think it's time we go to the result.
Judge reads the results.
That her biological father is Mr. Webb.
Ms. Hummel shows up saying Mr. Pack is Lola's dad. He says, nope, not me. And boom, we got a love triangle mess.
Ms. Hummel, you claim you were caught in a love triangle with the defendant and his current girlfriend, which has left him denying he fathered your 8-month-old daughter, Lola. You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that he is her biological father.
Hummel throws shade at Pack's new girl and says her baby might not even be his. Fuentes admits she slept with her ex during a break. The crowd goes wild like it's a game show.
If anyone needs a DNA test, he needs to get one for the other child.
What other child?
My child.
She just had a child 2 months ago. She has been known to sleep around while in relationships.
Well, Ms. Fuentes, we hate to bring up the past, but since it's on record,
Yes.
you've appeared in this court.
I have.
Before.
Yep.
Judge says we need science, not guesses, and orders more DNA tests. Fuentes thinks looks prove things. Judge is like, nah, girl, bring the facts.
This baby looks nothing like them. He looks like him. I know that baby is his, so.
I wish we could go on looks, but we
I know.
can't in this courtroom. And the truth is, regardless of what you think and what you believe, and you can bet your bottom dollar if you want to, it still doesn't mean anything, because the truth is, Mr. Pack just stated in court that he is concerned.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hummel and Pack were on and off since forever. She kicked him out, and he ran to Fuentes. Turns out he was crying happy tears at the baby test.
We started dating in 2015. We've been on and off since then, and we broke up when I was about 12 weeks pregnant because he wouldn't get a job, so I kicked his out.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
But okay, so you told him get out.
Yes,
And you broke up with him, which means he went over to Miss Fuentes.
yes, 48 hours later.
Pack says he saw Hummel with another guy right after they broke up. Fuentes says same, and boom, doubt. Hummel says they're both wrong.
When he came to my house when they broke up, and this was, 3 days later? And as we're going down the street to my friend's house, we saw her walking out of a house with another man. So he has reasonable doubt to think that this baby is not his.
Your Honor, there is also another 2 guys in the beginning of the relationship before I came that lived in the vicinity where she lived at.
Pack pulls out a calendar like it's a science project. Says he wasn't around when the baby was made. Hummel says, dude, you were at my house every night.
So, Mr. Pack, you say that during January, February, and March, you were broken up with Miss Hummel. You had no sex with her,
Yes, Your Honor.
which is smack dab in the middle of the time you say you had no sex with her because you were broken up. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct.
Hummel says Pack hasn't helped with Lola. Pack and Fuentes say yes, we did. Judge is like, enough talk, let's test.
Has Mr. Pack had any involvement with her?
Absolutely not.
Yes, he has.
Yes, I have.
That's,
Has he seen her?
About a handful of times. I can count on one hand how many times that he's seen
that's
her.
a lie. She's asked us to watch the baby a couple times, and we have. I mean, he wants to find out if the baby's his. That's fine, but I don't feel like shunning the baby because of his doubts, in my opinion. But I don't think she's his, so.
Judge says,
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Pack, you are the father. I told you.
this thing starts off wild and gets wilder real fast. Mr. Benning just found out his girl cheated, and now he's like, wait, are these kids even mine? Then the judge is like, let's find out.
Mr. Benning, you recently appeared in couples court and it was confirmed that the defendant cheated on you. This infidelity has caused questions regarding your 2-year-old daughter, Robin, and 6-month-old son, Jermaine Jr.'s paternity. Although you are hopeful that both are your children, you now have doubt.
Benning wanted a daughter so bad because he lost his mom when he was 14. When Robin came, he thought it was a dream come true. But uh-oh, that dream might not be real.
Well, first off, Your Honor, my mother passed away when I was 14 years old. She was my best friend. We spent every waking moment together. And after she died, it, left me hurt. I always wanted a daughter, and I promised I was going to take care of her and treat her like my mother took care of me.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
I've always stuck by with that.
So having a daughter has been so important.
Right when the baby was being born, some dude texted Benning, "That's my kid." He stayed and signed the birth certificate anyway, but things were already smelling real fishy.
It actually happened during labor, Your Honor. I was in the hospital sitting across, and I received a text from a guy telling me to leave the hospital because that's his baby and he needs to be there.
What?
I am in labor.
So you get the text and you know who it's from?
Yes.
What do? You can't say anything to Miss Bodine while she's in labor, can you?
I just kept going and I signed her birth certificate.
Bodine says she tested the guy who texted, and he ain't the dad. But Benning's like, "Girl, I know there's more dudes. Yeah, this just got messier."
Because, Your Honor, I stood up, did the woman and the mother thing I had to do, and got the other guy tested.
Oh.
And he wasn't the father.
And you submitted those results to the court?
Yes, I did.
The results read that the probability of paternity between you and this other guy is 0%.
Yes.
Turns out she tells him he's not the dad every time they argue. That hurts more than stepping on Legos. And now he doesn't trust anything.
The DNA test doesn't mean anything considering the fact that she's cheated on me with more than one person.
Oh.
There could be other guys out there, that's just one, As well as, Your Honor, anytime that something is wrong, I'm also reminded, oh, you're not her father. As soon as we start to argue, I'm the father.
You say stuff to hurt my feelings, why can't
Have I
I do
ever
it
told
to
you that you're not parent of your kid?
He thinks Robin is like his mom coming back. So saying she's not his feels like losing his mom all over again. Yeah, now we're all crying.
That little girl right there is my mother come back to be with me.
And
When
she
you tell me that,
like your
when you tell me
mother.
she's
She's
not
her-
mine, it feels like you're taking my mother away from me again.
Look at them. Look, they're twins.
She's beautiful.
They are.
They do look a lot alike.
Benning plays with Robin, but always has that voice in his head saying, "She might not be yours." Random dudes text him saying they're her dad. That's not just drama, that's chaos.
Yeah, I had to change her diaper and look at her and play with her, and she's calling me daddy, and there's something in the back of my head saying she might not be. There's a text message on my phone saying she's not yours. There's people calling me on my phone saying I'm her dad. After a certain time, you can't just ignore it anymore. It just keeps happening. It's hard to ignore.
Now he's like, wait, is the baby boy mine too? And honestly, fair question. Time for test number 2.
And to be honest with you, after all this has happened, depending on the doubts with Robin, I wouldn't know about my son as well.
I think it's important that we get this family some clarity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think we need to first go to Robin's results.
Judge reads the paper and boom, he's not Robin's dad. He cries but says, "I'm still staying. My dude deserves a trophy."
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Benning, you are not the father.
Doubts about Jermaine Jr. Turns out Bodine told him the baby boy might not be his too, just to be mean. And she admits it. That's just cold.
After all that, I get a text telling me, oh, I want a paternity test for Jermaine too. Like, why would you say that?
And that was submitted to the court.
Yes, it was, sir.
I'm filing papers for a DNA test on Jermaine. That'll cause paternity doubt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It sure does. Every day.
This case started like a TV show with extra drama. Ms. Smith says Mr. Lewis only claims her when he wants something. She wants the truth today. No more back and forth.
Ms. Smith, you say you've been waiting your entire life for the truth and opened your case to prove that Mr. Lewis is your biological father. You claim you are tired of his back and forth as it pertains to paternity and hope today's results will prove what you already know.
Mr. Lewis says he just hit it and quit it. Yep, he said that in court. He doesn't think she's his kid at all. But Judge Lake isn't letting him off that easy.
Your Honor, first of all, her mom, me and her, we got to dating. Wasn't no relationship going on. It was just a hit and quit thing. That's all it was.
But there's a whole bunch of people here in this world from a hit it and quick, because you can make a baby right quick.
Right quick, that's true. I agree with you 100%. She's not my daughter. She's not mine.
He took the baby home even though he says she's not his. He says it was to help, not because he thought she was his. Brittany doesn't think he's some big hero, though.
I had moved out of town. A friend of mine I had ran into told me that Liz was pregnant. When I came back to Cleveland, Ohio, I ran to another friend of mine. He said that Liz had a daughter, baby girl, and it's supposed to be your daughter. Got a baby. I'm a real man. I go and see my ex-wife right there. Me and her, we was together. We went up there.
Brittany says he was in and out of her life like a ghost. She waited 25 years just to get a test. And now she wants answers, not more excuses.
Him trying to be a fake father to me my whole life. One minute he was there, and the next minute he wasn't, like he was a ghost. I just don't understand how you can take somebody and treat them like they're your daughter sometimes, and then the rest of the time they're not.
Because your mother should have
And
came forward and said something.
he always
That's why.
stood me up. Made me wait 25 years to get a test.
Mr. Lewis shows a photo and says, that's her real dad. He claims it's his own great uncle. And yep, things just got super weird.
This is a photo of a man?
Yes. That's the man. Yeah, tell me about it, Your Honor. Yeah, tell
You
me.
believe this is her biological father?
That is her father. You know why I say that? Because that's for the simple fact, because I caught him and her mom having sex.
How do you know this man?
That is my great uncle.
He says he walked in on his uncle and her mom. Yikes. Brittany never heard that story before. She thinks he's just trying to blame someone else.
I pulled up in the yard, family house. The door was cracked, it was open. I walk in, the bed is sitting right there, right in front of the door. It's a small apartment. Smack it, they getting it. Next thing I know, he hear the door open. He turn around and look and see me. All I did was look and shook my head and walked out.
You walked in and she was in bed with your uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
He admits he wasn't around much, says he was busy moving and didn't know for sure. Judge Lake tells him to stop trash-talking the mom.
It was because of the doubt, and plus I was in and out of town. I stayed in Cleveland. I got family in Georgia, moved down here to Georgia. Yes, I was. I was going. But she was getting things from her mother. Her mother was pumping her head up with things, and she wasn't nothing but a street hood. That was it. That's her father right there, though.
His ex-wife says he told her Brittany was his. His real daughter says Brittany is still her sister. Everyone starts crying for real.
He had brought me his daughter. He told me he had a daughter. And I seen Brittany for the first time, and I said, wow, she looked just like you. Assuming that what he said, this was his daughter. So I took care of her for a long time.
Did he tell you when he brought you the baby, this is my daughter or this might be my daughter?
He said it was his daughter.
All right.
Ooh.
Moesha says Brittany isn't alone. Brittany says she feels totally flat inside. Then Judge Lake grabs the test results.
Because, first of all, Your Honor, he is good at doing that, as in, he had got a paternity test with me, and it's so hard to explain because.
See, you can't even say it.
Because it's just so sad because she, like I said, because I really grew up with Brittany.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Lewis, you are not the father.
Oh. Man. This episode starts wild. Ramirez says Jordan's a deadbeat who won't help with their baby Mila. She wants the truth today.
Ms. Ramirez, you have dragged your ex-boyfriend to court because you are tired of him denying your 4-month-old daughter, Mila, and you're hoping today's results will make him finally step up.
Jordan claps back saying Mila's not his and calls Ramirez a liar, but he says he helps with their other 2 kids. He's here to prove it's not his baby.
I'm just here to prove that Mila's not my baby. She's a liar, pathological liar. We have 2 other babies together, and I've taken care of Levi and Adrian. I've stepped up. I've changed their diapers. Adrian was here for 7 months. I took care of him. I do everything for them.
You hadn't seen them in over a year. The last time you came was last
That's because you don't
week.
let me. What you mean?
You're broken. You don't have the money to come down.
Well.
He says he moved away and wasn't even talking to Ramirez like that. Just chats about the kids. No way he's the dad.
The relationship was non-existent. I had moved on. So there was no, we kept in touch every now and then because I have 2 kids with her. And I just called for the kids. But besides that, I had moved on. There's not much to it besides that.
So you were already living in another state and had moved on.
Yep.
Which is why you say you are not Mila's biological father.
Correct.
Ramirez says they had unprotected fun for a whole week. She says she told him she wanted another baby. That's when she says Mila happened.
The week he had came to visit, he was coming down with a friend. During that time, we were having unprotected sex. I had told him that I wanted another child with him. He's even said that, if a woman says that, they want another child or a child with him, that he feels the need that he has to.
What?
That's not true, bro.
Yes, he has.
Don't pay attention to that.
Jordan shows a paycheck from another state to prove he was far away. Ramirez says maybe the check was late. Things are getting confusing fast.
I have proof right here that I was in Georgia. I got a pay stub. If I could submit this to.
So this is proof that
I was working in Georgia.
you were working in Georgia. This is a check for you, Elias Jordan, dated the 22nd of March, 2018. That's the week you say, Ms. Ramirez, he was down there with you.
She says she was with another guy, but used protection. Says it was after Jordan left. Still thinks Jordan is the dad.
A week after he left, I did sleep with someone else, but I did use protection and he did pull out. But that was literally a day and a half later when I took a pregnancy test.
Your Honor, there's no way, and on top of that, she said that she had actually slept with someone before and she thought she was pregnant by another guy when she was talking on the phone, so.
No, I didn't.
Jordan's new girlfriend shows up. Surprise, she used to babysit his kids and now she's pregnant. This court is getting wild.
I met him first and foremost, of course, and ended up being his babysitter for his second child that he has, Adrian, for a few months, actually, while he was in Georgia.
But now you're dating him and actually having his other baby, right?
New girlfriend says Ramirez told her someone else is Mila's dad. Ramirez tries to change her story. Judge is not buying it.
I knew more certainly when she herself told me. Asked us to stay with the boys and that she's gonna take Mila to go see her dad. She said, I'm going to take Mila to see her dad. He's gonna give me money for her and that he wants to see Mila.
Amari shows a photo of Ramirez, Mila, and another man. It looks like a family picture. Ramirez says he's just a maybe.
So this is a picture of Ms. Ramirez, Mila, and then the other guy?
I've never posted that.
Well, this looks like a family portrait. Does he believe he's Mila's biological father?
He knows he's a possibility. That's what I've told him. He's only a possibility.
Ramirez says she and Jordan hooked up again 2 weeks ago. Amari says no way. Ramirez swears it happened in a car and hotel.
That he slept with me when they came to visit. No. Just recently, 2 weeks ago.
Your Honor, when we went to visit,
twice,
Elias was with me every single day.
The day she actually took care of our kids in the car while I went to go pay for a hotel, we had went into the hotel to go check it out.
Boom.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jordan, you are the father.